of the book is extremely important. So I would want that you take some time to really reflect on this section. But I want to highlight a couple of things from this section. Yeah. So essentially, this conclusion is written by the authors of the book, of course, just like any other chapter, and they are talking about two significant messages. Two significant messages. So they are saying, as we conclude this book, there are at least two significant messages which we should take with us. Yeah. So let's look at them. The first message we want to convey is about the importance for leaders of being awake and being aware. Yeah. So first thing they are saying that, of course, we have established that leadership is very important. So the book authors are saying that the leaders should be awake and aware of what is happening. Leaders need to wake up to what is going on around them, whatever is happening. If new technologies are coming in the industry they are leading, or the organization they are leading, they need to be mindful of what is happening. This means noticing more than the obvious, the loud, or the directly visible. So not just look at what is obvious, not just look at what is loud, not just look at what is directly visible. Things which are not obvious, things which are not loud or clear, reading between the lines, things which are not directly visible. If you remember when we were discussing leadership, I mentioned to you that we were trying to discuss what is leadership, and I mentioned that the leader is someone who can look behind the wall. So look at any wall around you, any wall, just look at the wall. So all of us can see what is on the wall, but the leader can see what is behind that wall. This is what they are talking about. This means noticing more than the obvious, the loud, or the directly visible. The leader needs to do that. Essentially, what is going on in and around the organization? What is happening inside the organization? What is happening outside the organization? What is the context? And then they don't stop there, because it is just, you are just telling do this, do that, but how to do that? That is very important. So they are asking, how do leaders achieve that? How do leaders achieve that? And they tell us how. This is very interesting. If you can read this highlighted section. So they are saying, well, it does take time. It is going to take time, but it means talking and listening to a wide cross section of people. It means asking good questions and maintaining open relationship. And it also means spending more time gathering information. But please remember this point. Well, it does take time. If you don't have time, cultural changes not going to happen very easy. Yes, you can force them. Yes, you can, do various other things, but they might not be, people might not like you, and you want to maintain likability also to some extent, if not 100%. So that was the first point. But remember, they said there are 2 points which they want us to remember. So let's look at the second one. And this is why I gave you that 10% exercise, reflective exercise. Look at this highlighted section. The second message is about the importance of reflection time, time to reflect, time to analyze what went wrong, what went right, the things which went wrong, why they went wrong. If you are given the next chance, how you would do things differently. The things where you are successful, why you are successful in them. What are the best practices you would want to repeat next time when you are in the same situation, and so on. Time for reflection. Please find time to reflect. Leaders benefit greatly from taking regular, focused time to reflect on what is going around them. Yeah, regular, focused time to reflect. That is very important. What is happening right now, what the options are, and where they are personally in all this. Where do they fall in all of this, in all scheme of things? Where do they fall? Analyzing their own self, and then taking heed from the models, taking heed from the change management experts, taking heed from other colleagues, but looking within also. And in the next section, they have given some suggestions which you can, reflect on. But please look at this: finding the space to reflect. So I want to please reiterate this point that first you need to reflect, and to reflect you would need some type of space. So find that space for yourself in your life, no matter where it is: on campus, outside campus, at home, at your workplace, in a parking lot. You go in some woods near to some beach or something. You go for a long walk in the woods, wherever, whatever works for you. Very important that you just find some space, sit down there, and or stand or walk, whatever, or swim, whatever it is. Time to reflect is important. Space to reflect is even more important. A space which will create that atmosphere where you will be. What are you taking away? Let me ask you this simple question. As we are over here, what are you taking away with you? What is change management all about? As you are stepping out of this room right now, what are you taking? Um, is there anything you can reflect on? Please go ahead.
Just to talk about the cultural change, sir. I just think that's one of the hardest things to change about anybody, the cultural aspect of them.
Yeah, and nothing to be fearful. Thanks for this. Thanks for this point. And nothing to be fearful about that. At least we know that, culture is important. At least we know that, it will be hard to change. So when we are going into cultural change, we can look at these techniques which the book mentioned. We can look at some of